go. It is Saturday, my friends, my community. Okay, yeah, I remember to put the limiter back on. I forgot about that. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if I was destroying everybody with the background music. I remembered to stop that this time. What's everybody doing? How's everybody doing this happy little Saturday? For us in the US, it's a holiday weekend. 3 days. And I still got a shit ton of, well, not a shit ton. I've got a lot of One Piece to still get out of the way since leaving Thursday for Minnesota. Just got done watching Kill Bill for the first time. Nice. No, I haven't seen that since I was in high school. I think I only watched it and part 1 once each. I need to revisit those, because I don't know that I gave them the proper attention at the time. What's up, Nothing? What's up, Calvin? How are you doing? Evening from the UK. Hope you're having a good, relaxing little evening. What's up, APOC? That's the comment I was actually responding to there. What's up, Ginger? Doing well. Just watching One Piece and editing One Piece. That's the gist of it right now. What's up, Darren? What is up? I just noticed I've got that same Flash shirt that you're wearing in your profile picture. It's a pretty good watch. I enjoyed it, but the script is a little different to it. Yeah, I need to revisit that one of these days. What's up, Idea Maker? Hey, I've been watching your One Piece reactions while I'm remodeling my room, and I've been loving them. Currently on episode 7, and it gets better the more it progresses. It really does. I know episode 3 is up on the channel right now. Last night I just finished episode 5, and whoo! The mansion arc, the stuff with Kaya and Usopp and Koro, dude, that two-parter was good shit. The next episode felt like a little bit more of a bridge, but the two fights, the two things, holy shit. They were so good. What's up, Adit? How are you doing today? I'm doing quite well so far. Haven't done much other than eat just yet, but I got a little bit of a busy evening at least after this. So hopefully everything goes smoothly. What's up, Good Vibes? Also on top of that, yes, last night I watched our movie poll winner, which was surprisingly, and maybe it shouldn't be because the cast was really good, but it was so entertaining. It was so good. And loving the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reactions. I'm only preloaded up until episode 4 right now, so I haven't gotten as much ahead as I would like. But Monday I'll be diving into the next one. I do already have 4 in the slot for this coming Friday, since I won't be in town to post it. I needed to do it early. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. And yeah, like I've said before, aside from the one thing, I have no idea how any of these episodes transpire, man. I don't remember. I haven't remembered anything of these. It's been fun. I kind of like that about it. What's up, Dion? Love the booster gold and blue beetle icon. How are you doing? What's up, Turbo? What are we doing today? We're just hanging out. We're just talking. There's a whining with Omni. It's just kind of a chat while I consume some wine. Oh. Just about to finish my rewatch myself, and I'm very sad It's been very good to see your journey through it so far, very early on. Yeah, there's a long road ahead. Long road ahead. Been liking One Piece so far, 2 episodes in. Chemistry with the crew is great. Fight scenes are well done. Buggy was goated. Dude, Buggy's still like one of my favorite things in the show so far. That actor did a phenomenal job. And don't want to go typecasting people as clown characters, but he's got a really good Joker laugh. I just gotta say. Just fun ass pirate adventure show. The whole time I'm just like, damn man. Pirates of the Caribbean, eat your heart out right now. Like, I haven't felt like this. Obviously, we haven't had a real pirate adventure that I feel like since the main trilogy ended. And, I know we got a couple of sequels after that, but I didn't love them. But this is kind of scratching that itch for me. Severance is one of my favorite shows. My only concern is how they end the series in an interesting and satisfying way. That's always going to be the challenge, but I know we're getting to season 2. What am I on right now? I think I finished episode 5. Because I watched 2 Shields, 2 Severances this week to try to get a little ahead. Yeah, I watched up to 5. Dude, no spoilers, but one of them completely wrecked me by the end of it. Watch your One Piece reactions, which are great. The show looks so good, I'm going to give it a watch. I definitely recommend it. I'm going in as somebody who's never read the manga. I'm going in as somebody who's never watched the anime, and I'm having a damn good time. Last week I suggested Doctor Who should be a better show, and you put up a good defense. Just curious to know what your favorite episodes are. That's a hard one. My favorite episode of Doctor Who is, I don't remember the name of the episode. I should. Oh, I think it's Vincent and the Doctor. I think that's all it is. The Vincent Van Gogh episode's my favorite episode of the show. The main storyline maybe isn't that great or that interesting, but the close and just kind of like the moral quandary that him and Amy go through in that episode to the resolution at the end, it never fails to just bring me to tears, man. Obviously, Blink is really good. I think that's an easy crutch episode to go to. The episode of Peter Capaldi where he gives the speech about the Zygon War. The episode where the doctor's at the Pandorica when it opens and all the people are there and he gives his little speechy thing. Great moment. What was that one? What was the name of that episode? A Good Man Goes to War, I think. Girl in the Fireplace is also, that's a really good. Silence of the Library, also. That 2-parter, both really good. Especially once you know the story and you're coming back to that moment, it gets better on rewatch. Have you seen a movie called Annihilation? I have not. I used to always get that and Arrival mixed up, though. Now I know they're completely not even the same. Haven't got to watching Severance yet. Could you give it a kind of idea of what the show is? It's kind of like a dark comedy thriller is how I would describe it. But I would just say the description for the first episode is all I would be willing to divulge. What is... I don't want to accidentally break this. Let's see. Because that's all I knew going into it. Honestly, I would say knowing nothing going into it would be the best thing. But if you need to know something, where's just like... let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's about a team of office workers who have had their memories split surgically between their lives at work and their lives at home. And there's just some shady shit going on. And just it's just a great little sci-fi dark comedy is what I would call it. Mind you, I don't want Severance to end, but it's sad inevitability of any show, especially shows that rely on mystery to carry itself. Yeah, I know that pain. I hope it hits the mark, because I'm really enjoying the show at the moment. Watching Expendables for the first time today, had a good time with it. Liked Stallone and Statham together as the leads. Mickey Rourke was a standout as the chill, wise friend, and the action was pretty fun. I do like the first two quite a bit. 3 was... it was alright. I didn't really enjoy 3 all too much, and honestly, the trailers for 4 just kind of look not good to me. That's just where I sit on it. I don't know. Could end up being great, but yeah, we'll find out what happens with that one. I don't know if I'm gonna go see it or not. What's up, Wolfie? How you doing? A lot of people are not a fan of season 1, so seeing you positive about it already makes me so incredibly happy. People don't really like season 1 of Shield. Is that what you were talking about there? I've seen a lot of people like in the comments be like, if you can get through season 1, like it just gets better from here. Season 1's the weakest season or whatever, and you know, trying to like defend the show, and I'm just having fun. I'm just over here having fun. I say that a lot for a lot of shows as well. I think for the uninitiated or people coming in from today's age, I say the same thing similarly about the X-Files. Even though I think all the storylines, everything holds up, it's just some of the dated elements because it is very much early 90s, because it takes place when it's filmed, setting-wise. So like there's a lot of like stylistic things that you have to kind of get past. Same thing with like Game of Thrones, and I would say even Breaking Bad. I think you need to like settle in past the first season, and then from there on, if you're still on the ride, you will not regret it. Like, so I find myself saying the same thing about so many shows. Is like, you want them to get to the juicy bits, and usually that's not always in season 1. Some shows can get you right from the lead in. So yeah. Have you played any Flash games back in the olden days? If so, which ones? Mostly just the stick fighter stuff, but that's about it. I wasn't a huge Flash game guy myself back in the day. I've also been rewatching your reactions to My Adventures with Superman, such an amazing DC series. I make music on my other channel, so I'm making a special album inspired by the episodes. That's awesome. That's cool. If you pop into the Discord or anything like that, definitely shoot me a link. Next episode of Ahsoka is going to be great and action-packed. Ahsoka and Sabine versus the Minions. Sabine versus Shin. Ahsoka versus Marok. And probably Ahsoka versus Balin, too. Should be fun. Yeah, I mean, from what we've seen so far, there's very few trailer shots that haven't come up yet. But from what those scenes are, aside from the Thrawn ones, the like 2 shots of Thrawn we've seen in the trailers, everything seems to end in the next episode. Like, if you're just thinking logistically with where we are at the end of the last episode, it makes sense if the next episode is where we resolve or experience the remaining trailer shots that are left, which means the whole back half is uncharted territory, which is super fun. Doctor Who, top 3 for me: Blink, Girl in the Fireplace, and Silence in the Library. All really good episodes. I really feel like despite hiring a new PR firm to manage them, however, the reactions of the studios aren't making things any easier for them, especially since it's public knowledge that they hired a PR firm to try to cover their asses in the wake of all this. Now, on top of this, too, the SAG has just authorized a strike for the video game industry now. So no more voice actors for video games until the major AAA studios can add, fair compensation and protections for them now too. It's gonna be interesting, man. Everything's coming together. We got VFX artists at Disney unionizing. animators unionizing. Everybody's pushing back against the corporations right now, and it's kind of it's going to be sucky for consumers, but it's good on all these workers, man, because they deserve that shit. Am I interested in the new David Fincher movie that's coming out in October? It looks like more is going to be on the side of his older flicks. I've heard of it, but I haven't actually seen like the trailer or anything for it. So, yeah, I'm always open to it. So as long as I need to check it out first, just like a trailer, and I get an idea of it. But I know the cast looks pretty solid. Annihilation is superb. I have to give it a look one of these days. Let's get Annihilation on the poll, guys. Is it on there? I'm pretty sure it's on there. Let me check. I think Annihilation's on here. Yeah, it's on the poll. Speaking of, I need to remove the one that actually won this month, not year. Yeah, there we go. I haven't updated this one in a minute, I don't think. I think the last one also isn't. I still got Memento on here. Out of here. There we go. Now the list is up to date. Let's see. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 1 is fine, but it's still on. It gets really good. Launchpad, even better seasons, especially season 4. I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. Literally have Doctor Who on pause at the moment because I'm watching you. Aw, I appreciate that. You've been rewatching a lot, Ginger. You've been bouncing through all kinds of little fandoms. Am I gonna react to Gen V when it comes out? Hell yeah, I will. I've reacted to all the boys stuff so far. I reviewed season 1. I reacted to seasons 2 and 3 and Diabolical. So I will react to Gen V. Season 1 came out when I wasn't doing TV show reactions, so I missed out on that, unfortunately. Almost done with Parks and Rec. Four episodes left. I always feel a bit sad at the end of sitcoms because I know I'll never get any more new experiences with the characters, but I guess all good things must come to an end. I know I've mentioned this many times, but when I rewatch Friends, I almost never watch the final 2 episodes because I just physically struggle to get through them anymore. And I just get to the final 2 episodes and then I just restart the show. One Piece was my surprise, really good. I've never seen the anime before, so I started that also after finishing the series, and I'm enjoying it. See, I'm in the same boat because, like I said in the videos, it was just so intimidating from the get-go. When I was younger, I wasn't a fan of the art style, so I never tuned into it, mainly because of that. And now over the years, there's over 1,200 episodes of One Piece. It's starting now, like, you just have to commit so much to it. So once I saw the trailer for this, knowing that the creator of the series, of the manga, and of the anime was part of the production process and they had to give approval for all the things that they did, I was like, okay, maybe this one could be the one. And then I saw the trailer and it looked like they actually put some effort into it. And I was like, okay, maybe this can be my gateway in. But even in the episodes that I'm in right now I'm just like, damn it, is this gonna make me start watching these 1,200 episodes? It might. What's up, Christmas man? I have a question. What's your question? Let me know. Eco, lead of the Raid movies, is going to be in Expendables 4. Oh, so Tony Jaw's back. Love me some Tony Jaa. Expendables 4, so I'm hyped for that at least. I still need to watch the Raid films, man. I have not seen a single one. I've seen a few clips because of stuntmen react, but that's all. I need to watch those films, man. Love season 1 of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not my favorite season, but that's 4, but I love it. Hell yeah. Not a big fan of season 5 and 6 though. I'm sure it'll be fine. There's always going to be weaker seasons. Do you think mystery movies and shows are running out of non-cliches, like unique mystery ideas that are completely original? I don't know. I mean, Dark really threw me for a loop on that. And Severance so far is really, really good. But I don't know the resolutions for Severance, so I can't speak to whether or not it ends up being unique or anything. But the way they're executing everything is just masterful. It's just so good. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Alright, sorry about that. I Heart Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm having a damn good time, man. Part 1. I feel even more sad for the Arrowverse because it never really had a fine or even good ending. It just had an Eric Wallace ending that's pretty much his favorites, Cecile and Allegra getting a happy ending. Let's find your other parts. For me, it's sad because personally I find the final season of The Flash should have been a celebration of the Arrowverse itself. Even the defense of not Eric Wallace's job to give the Arrowverse an ending, but only The Flash. But that instantly fell flat because the story is apart from literally 2 episodes of Season 8, which is Arrow, lore, and character heavy, that were unanimously praised. If your solo Flash story sucks, maybe your idea for the final season should have just been old friends meeting and stopping villains the entire season before the ending. On a good note, I wanted Arrowverse to get closure, but I'm afraid it won't. Yeah. That will never have happened with Zaveloff in charge. You're not wrong, and I feel equally the same there. Like, I understand both sentiments for sure, but yeah, it sucks. The whole situation surrounding it sucks. Ever seen a movie called Wreck-It Ralph? I've seen both of them. Trying to avoid spoilers as much as physically possible. Sorry. Yeah, I have. I've seen both films in theaters. Really, really fun movies, man. Actually, I think I like the second one more than the first, if I remember right. It's been a while since I've seen it. I agree, Breaking Bad gets better as it goes on, but I still think season 1 is really good. It is. But it's good for people who can tolerate like a building story, you know? I think once season 2 kicks in, I think you're past the slow burn part of Breaking Bad. I just say that for a lot of people because I know a lot of people are impatient for a payoff, and I feel like season 1 is just slower than a lot of people these days are willing to, you know, accept, I guess. What's up, Noober? Great conclusion to my adventures with Superman, and a way too short episode with Ahsoka. I swear to God, if I hear one more person complain about the length of these shows, man, I'll slap someone. Anyway, I'm kidding. Kind of. I just want more. Starting to like Torchwood, but why is it so horny? Because it's supposed to be Doctor Who for adults. That was the whole reason they made the show. They had Doctor Who for everybody, for the whole family. They had the Sarah Jane Adventures for children, and they made Torchwood for adults. During the period where all those shows came out, or were going on at the same time, they were trying to hit every market all at once, but none of them really tapped into their markets anywhere better than the mainstay show. Yes, avoid spoilers for Wreck-It Ralph. Midnight is also an amazing Doctor Who episode. One of my favorites. See, I'm not great at remembering episode titles. Midnight. Oh, yes. Underrated episode, but my lord, the performances in it. I was just watching I can't remember what it was. I was watching a video that referenced this episode, and it's really freaking good. Have I heard about the MCU shows moving from the release dates because of the strikes? I have. What if Season 2 is assumedly coming out around Christmas this year, and Echo is now releasing January 2024? I did see all of that. I did see all that. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised in the slightest. But I saw that yesterday. I just hope What If Season 2 is better than the first season. The VA strikes for AAA video games. On one hand, you have studios like Supergiants that are super small but amazing, and their VAs are also programmers, musicians, and more. And then there's Blizzard. Yeah, there's a huge gap right now. But video game designers strike next. Honestly, they really should. This crunch bullshit. Dude, Larian right now is studio of the century. I'm excited for Invincible Season 2. Fuck yes. I can't wait for Season 2, man. That was a surprise show that came out of nowhere and knocked me off my feet. Too busy rewatching things than watching something new, apart from Sandman. But I would say it's new for you at that point because it is a year old now, which is crazy to think that it's already been a year since it aired. It feels like it wasn't that long ago. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's all great stuff that you're watching anyway. I love getting your little updates. Even though I don't respond to everything, I do read all the little posts that you put in the Discord. What an ending to Season 3. Tennant's acting in the finale was fantastic. Jack T was like, I'm gonna be on a better show. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. He definitely was not. But yes, Tennant really cooked hard with a lot of his work in those later seasons of his. I'm excited for him to come back. Literally same about the Friends rewatch. It's like PTSD even thinking about watching its end again. Yeah, I turn into a wreck watching it. Dude, even just watching some of the normal episodes now makes me kind of overly emotional. Just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird since I've reached the part where I'm older than any of them ever have been at any point in the show, and I'm just like, man, I miss these days. Most of it makes me, I mean, it still makes me laugh, but a lot of it ends up making me sad at the end of the day. But the finale is just, it's so much worse. I did watch for the first time Ghostbusters Afterlife, which was also awesome. I really liked the Afterlife. And I'm not somebody who loved Ghostbusters growing up. I watched the cartoon more than I ever watched the movies. I never had seen an entire Ghostbusters film the whole way through until I was an adult. And I was like, it was fine. It's not one of my favorite things. But I do have a nostalgia for it, mostly because of the cartoon series. And coming into Afterlife, even like being mildly disconnected from it, and maybe this is like a crutch of the time it came out, the reliance on that nostalgia. I found it so charming. You know, it was a lot of fun. So much throughout. I was like, I know that, I know that, I know this. Holy crap, it's that. It was, I don't know. I had a lot of fun watching it. I'm excited to see what they do with the next one. The workers at AAA studios are so overworked and under pressure. I think there's got to be an Andor among them, a Luthen. Get them to rebel, unionize, and strike. They deserve it, man, dude. Some of the shit, the VFX studios in Hollywood and the video game designers, programmers, all that, the people that make the game need like better conditions. Like, and on top of that, I'm so fucking tired of these AAA studios releasing games that are not ready. You're pushing them to meet a deadline and you don't even release a ready product. It's like, we'll fix it later. We'll still work on it. But you still gotta pay full price for it. But it's not gonna work. Not perfectly, and sometimes not at all at launch. God, it pisses me off, man. Disney, etc. Yeah, we can't meet their demands. A24 actually cares about cinema. Yes, it does. I love A24, man. How do you enjoy the season finale of My Adventures with Superman? Do you have any predictions for season 2? I thought it was really good. I'm I feel a little weird about, the only thing that like I'm kind of hung up on is that I don't, other than getting us kryptonite, I feel like there's another way you could have done that. Like the episodes where they traveled outside the multiverse was fun, but I don't know what that adds. Like to the season, other than giving them kryptonite, it didn't actually move the story forward. It basically just gave them the MacGuffin they needed. So that's my only issue with all of that. But other than that, I think they nailed everything else. There's still a sense of mystery about Clark's origin in this universe and why he's here and what connections Jor-El has to Brainiac and Zod and all this other stuff. So like, I'm assuming that's Zod. They have not straight up said it is, but that's my best guess. But the weird thing about it is his emblem is the crest of El. It's not Zod's. So who the fuck is that? He says the Neo line, so it screams Zod to me, but could he be an evil Clark? I don't know. We'll find out eventually. Do I like A24? Hell yeah, man. I try to catch as many of their movies anymore as I can. I haven't been able to see all of them, but anytime I see one of the that a movie from the, like A24 pops up, I usually try to check it out. They're probably the only studio out there currently taking risks on the movies, which is something I personally thoroughly respect, especially that one they did, Beau is Afraid. I didn't see it. I watched a really thorough review of that film. I really should see it, but they sunk a lot of money on that movie and it made absolutely next to nothing. But that's the thing. They care more about the medium than they do the return, really. And I love that about them. I have a tongue twister for you. Can you say it? Probably not. But shoot. With BB, it ironically starts getting good when Walt shaved his head. That's when it becomes peak. I think it's always good, but that's when it gets good. If you know what I mean. What do you consider to be the weakest season of the X-Files? Oh God, that's a interesting question. Actually, not really. The final season probably. It's still interesting. It's still good, but for anybody that's watching it, if I say the reason that I don't enjoy it as much as other seasons, it's kind of a spoiler. But I would probably say the ninth. Fuck that. No, sorry. 10 and 11. When I said the final season, I meant of the original run, which is only 9 seasons. 9 seasons and 201 episodes. 202 if you include the final episode, which is 2 hours long. It was originally aired as a 2-parter, but sometimes they list it as a single episode, sometimes they list it as 2 episodes. So depending on where you look at it, it might say 201 or 202 for the original run, and then you have a 6-episode revival series for season 10, and then I think 8 episodes for season 11. Season 10 and 11 have some good standalone episodes, but my God, everything else is trash. I hate what they did with the story. I loathe what they tried to do with the story when they come back to the show almost 20 years later. What was it like? Actually, it was more like, yeah, it was 20 actually. No, what was it? We're going into the 30th anniversary. So that would have been 20 years though after the show ended. Okay, so that tracks. Oh man. Season 10 and 11 can kind of fuck off. They exist in a whole other canon in my head. That's how I feel about it. But there's still some fun one-off episodes that have nothing to do with the story. Torchwood, Captain Jack. Man, like, it's a valid reason, but he was going to be at the Huntington Comic-Con that I went out when I went to go meet Alex Garfin, but he had to cancel because his parents got sick and were hospitalized, so very understandable, and my heart goes out to him for sure. But yeah, that would have been fun to meet a good old Captain Jack and Malcolm Merlin, you know. You actually continued. I don't feel like Arrowverse will get referenced in the new DCU. Arrowverse is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., except S.H.I.E.L.D.'s boss they're ending. Well, that's an opinion to say right now. That I don't like having that expectation in mind. Given the chance to properly do it again and nailing it. Literally, Agent Shield nailed it. It's ending in a good way. Oh, you're saying the Arrowverse botched it. Okay, never mind. Thank you. But Wallace botched it twice. Damn. Yeah, there's a whole lot of shit for that. The ultimate Doctor Who question. Is the TARDIS a snog box? I mean, there's probably a lot of snogging going on in there. Let's be real. Why they call it an oven when you of the why did they call it an oven when you of in cold food out of hot eat the food? When you're in the cold and out of the hot eat food. I don't know what you're trying to say, Turbo. I'm sorry. Said in the same tone as many Bothans died. Many friends have been lost to Baldur's Gate 3. I have it installed. I had the early access for it, so I played the first chapter like 3 years ago with all of its bugs included. I had a couple great game-breaking ones happen quite a few times, which made me just like, you know, I'll wait until this is actually out when I go back to it. But I have it installed, but I haven't actually played it yet. Have I ever seen Person of Interest? Never heard of it, actually. So that's a no for me. What's up, Becca? Do you consider the TARDIS as a character? Oddly enough, no, but I should. I mean, obviously I should in the context of certain things we learn about it, but I never really think of it that way, which is weird. Jack said in Torchwood, he's gonna be on the better show, being Doctor Who. That's very true. I really like the female cast Ghostbusters, thought it was funny. Never saw it. Never actually sat down and watched it myself. I've seen many a run through of the movie though. I can just tell you the trailers did not make it look appealing to me. So I again, not being a huge Ghostbusters person to begin with, I never dove into it. But seeing that what sold me on Afterlife was it was going for this legacy new refresh vibe, but tying into the legacy of before. I was like, that sounds interesting. Plus Finn Wolfhard was in it. There's a couple other people in there that was familiar to me. So I was like, I'll check it out. Paul Rudd was in there. So I was like, yeah, okay, we'll give it a go. And I really had a good time with it. Have you ever been recognized in real life? If not, how would you react in that situation? I have a few times at this point. Last, like, a year, it was like maybe a year or two now. I know someone, they didn't like approach me though. We left the theater that I go to, somebody was there as well as like, but they didn't say anything at the theater. I just got a random message later, was like, was that you at the X and X theater? I just don't know if I'm crazy. And I was like, yeah, yeah, that was me. So there was that, and then when I went to GalaxyCon, I got recognized by two people. I was standing in line for the Grant Gustin and the Grant Gustin Stephen Amell photo shoot, and one guy was like, "Hey, I watch your videos." And then when I was standing in line to get an autograph from Stephen Amell, a guy came up and was like, "Dude, I watch your stuff," and like took a picture with me. I was like, that was a interesting. It's weird, like when everybody's like, everybody else around you is just like, wait, do you do stuff? And I was like, kinda. So that was weird. But it was cool, weird. And then at Huntington Comic Con, I saw like, one of the vendors watches my Bleach videos. And that was kind of cool. But yeah. I don't know. It's weird, but it's happening more and more frequently. But then only at these conventions, though. Well, the one time at the movie theater, I guess, which was weird to me because it was local. It was local, and somebody recognized me. That's a little weird. Because I don't feel like anybody watches my stuff that I know around here. But yeah, I don't know. It's an odd feeling. At the same time, I'm just like, nice. I like the female Ghostbusters too. It was fun. Everyone crapped on the female Ghostbusters movie. Unfortunately, I thought it was good. Form your own opinions. So, not everybody's gonna follow the grain. Still confused about the final spell in No Way Home. Take Otto, for example. He's in the MCU because he knows Peter is Spider-Man. Does it mean that Otto has to forget who Peter is for him to go home? Yes. That's my assumption. That's my assumption, that even in the grand scheme of things, the people that were there have to forget that knowledge too. But then, I don't know. There's some things about it that still don't totally make sense, but we haven't had time to explore a lot of it. I'm getting a Metal Gear take on Zod vibe. There's a lot of Metal Gear and Evangelion inspirations all through my adventures with Superman. Do you think season 4 will be the last of Superman and Lois? I think it's highly probable, even though they said, who knows, there might still be a season 5 in our future. With the way things have been going, I doubt it. I imagine season 4 will be the end. R2-D2, BB-8, or Chopper? R2-D2. All the way. Chopper is a war criminal, and BB-8 is cute, but that's kind of it. A24 film that I enjoy looking at, The Green Knight, is so grungy but ethereal. That movie was such an interesting watch. I think that is a great description of that movie. I still don't wholly know how I feel about it, but that's the thing I like about A24 films. They find a way to really just kind of, I don't know, challenge you a little bit. What show is this that you were talking about? I was talking about the X-Files. Somebody was asked what I think the weakest season of the X-Files is. I'm obsessed with Shin Ha-Ti, but nervous that Filoni might kill her off to complete Sabine's training progression arc. Thoughts? I mean, I don't see them survive. Who knows? They very well could survive into the future. They're not necessary to the grand plot of everything, maybe. But I also really, really do like that character. And, like, we haven't seen her do much except be a callous little hottie, one might say. My gosh, she knows. Anyway, I don't understand why studios are afraid to delay a game/movie. If an IP isn't ready, delay it. Never understood the stigma. I mean, word of mouth and poor reviews, if you release something that is trash and it's not ready, that's gonna hurt you. I mean, like, I know, like, a lot of the time it's like, we need to get it in before the quarterly deadline so that we can get that momentum and push into our cycle before it comes to a close for, like, billing and tax purposes. Also, bonuses for the stupid executives. I get the logistics behind it, but it ruins your product. It also tarnishes your name a little bit. Like, just because you're the big game you're the big company on the block, like, eventually some companies, I just do not like buying shit from them. Anyway. You liking One Piece so far? Loving it, dude. I really am. Really enjoying your reaction as a non-OP manga/anime fan. If you didn't know, the Zoro actor is Makinyu. He was also in Rurouni Kenshin as Yukishiro Inishi. Damn it, dude. Really? That's cool. Yeah, I thought he looked kind of familiar. I've seen the trailer for that film, but I haven't watched that one yet. I haven't actually finished the Kenshin films just yet. But yeah, I was looking into some of the actors, and I don't recognize most of them from things. I think I maybe missed out on his, because I didn't want to accidentally spoil myself for certain things. But yeah, I'm really loving it. Like, loving it. I can't wait to get further on in it. Whoa, wait, sponsor you? What year is it? Huh? I don't know what prompted this. But I did get a new sponsor, Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. Check out my Superman. Actually, I can just include those links everywhere. I should just do that in my description. But check out my Superman, the Superman finale, if you want some like authentic Japanese treats sent to your home. This is an unpaid sponsorship at this point. But I'm not gonna lie, like, I really enjoyed like 95% of the snacks they sent, man. And that's a lot. What's up, Renan? I was wondering this for weeks now, but why haven't you put the episode titles in your reactions for the first half of Harley Quinn season 4 and My Adventures with Superman? Because some of the titles were just too long to fit along with my usual stuff. And then at one point or another, I just kind of forgot to put them back. Look at Becca there with the fucking moon rabbit. Yes, stay on theme. I don't know if that's what you meant to do, but stay on theme. But yeah, that's basically the only reason. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it just looks weird. And with Harley Quinn as of late, aside from the last one, which I did put in the title, a lot of the titles have just been way too long. If X-Files ever got another series, would I react to it? Or would you watch it in your own time as it's your favorite? Oh, I would watch it. I would react to it. That's for sure. So when Ryan Coogler's X-Files show comes out, I would totally do it. I will definitely watch it. Gotta go for a second. 5 minutes ago. See ya. Hell yeah. TARDIS is living, though. Definitely think of her as a character. See, that's the thing. I should, but most of the time the show doesn't treat the TARDIS as a character, if that makes sense. I mean, I know it acts and misbehaves of its own accord. It does it at all times, has a will of its own, but I just, for whatever reason, I don't think they lean into that aspect enough. Glad to see you're enjoying the live-action One Piece series. Are you interested in the anime? Yes. I very much so am, but at the same time, that's 1,200 plus and ongoing episodes of a show. Creators of Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. definitely watched X-Files, I can tell. I'm only 11 episodes in. Yep. That's the thing. A lot of those syndicated shows that came out around that time, like especially in the early 2000s as well, Smallville had a lot of bleed over from the X-Files because a lot of the same people worked on it. A lot of those same Vancouver crews that no longer were working on X-Files once X-Files moved from Vancouver to LA. A lot of those people moved on to a lot of projects that became Smallville, which eventually became the Arrowverse. Buffy had a lot of DNA from the X-Files, a lot of shared stuff that they carried over. Doctor Who's revival actually used the X-Files as a kind of template for what they wanted to do and an inspiration. J.J. Abrams for Lost was inspired by the X-Files. He wrote what do you call it? The preface? The lead-in note from somebody for whatever, for like there's like a compendium for the X-Files, and he wrote the opening page for that because of the inspiration X-Files led for it. A lot of Mike Flanagan's stuff, not a lot of it. A lot of it is inspired from other things, but he takes a lot from the X-Files. Obviously, there's a lot of X-Files references in Midnight Mass, which in and of itself feels like a really long X-Files episode. Love it. Yeah, its DNA is all over the place, especially on anything that has a monster or villain of the week premise, because that started really with X-Files in the way that it has. You can trace a lot back. Breaking Bad also wouldn't exist in its current format without the X-Files, because that's where Vince Gilligan started, was on the X-Files. That's where he cut his teeth, as he says, was working on the X-Files. It's also how he met Aaron Paul and how he met Bryan Cranston. You know, he wanted Bryan Cranston because he worked with him on the X-Files, and his executives were like, the guy from Malcolm in the Middle, and he showed them Bryan Cranston's episode from the X-Files, and that convinced them to be okay with him hiring the guy from Malcolm in the Middle. There's so much fun DNA out there. And I'm just always like, I always link this shit back, man. What's up, Omni? What's up, Janine? Embarrassing story. I recognized a guy in a club and asked when we worked together. Kept insisting we knew each other. Yay for alcohol. Turns out he was on The Apprentice. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's fun. That's weird. He kept worked together. That's when we worked together and kept insisting we knew each other. Turns out he was on The Apprentice. So was he the one that was insisting, or were you insisting that you knew each other at one point or another? But you couldn't place that it was from a show. Oh, that's gotta be mildly embarrassing. Oh, that's the whole point. That's the embarrassing story. Oh, God. There's an episode of Nevermind, the Buzzcocks. What the fuck is that? From just after Torchwood launched that David Tennant hosted, where he makes fun of Barrowman throughout, that I reference far too often. I have to look into that. Exactly that. Oh, that's funny. Get through this. I still cringe to this day. Rightfully so. That's trippy then, because it means the entire multiverse forgot who Peter is. It gets more trippy when you think about Peter 2 and 3. Do they forget who they are in order to go home? Yeah, it still doesn't make sense why they got pulled over. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it doesn't make any sense why. Because, I mean, I don't know, like, when you think about it like that, when you pose that question, it makes you wonder, shouldn't Peter forget that he's Spider-Man? And then Spider-Man just disappears? It's weird. I don't know. There's a lot of weird logistical issues with it. What do you think about My Adventures of Superman being the best characterization of Superman? The scene with him and General Lane in the bunker is the best Superman moment outside of the books, in my opinion. It is definitely, they definitely nailed his character. I've seen some people saying, like, the opposite. And I swear it's people that are just judging it from its looks and the designs of the characters that haven't actually watched it. Because I saw somebody's like, he doesn't even act like Superman. I was like, you are full of shit. Dude, they did a great job characterizing Clark and Superman in this. And yes, while they did like animate it up and make it a little cutesy and bubbly at times, they never lose sight of who Clark is as a character and as a person. And I think they nailed that. Superman and Lois and My Adventures with Superman have really got a strong understanding of the character. Getting recognized feels weird as a teen because now you have to explain to your parents. Yeah, that would be a hard thing to explain. That's for sure. It's because of Hallelujah. Moon Rabbit. If someone offered you $1 million to publicly attack the X-Files, would you do it? Fuck yeah. Hey, I love the show, and it's because I love the show that I will trash the final 2 seasons. Because to me, they aren't real. Hell, they retcon most of the original, not most, but they try to retroactively retcon pretty much the entire first 9 seasons and gaslight the audience into believing certain things. And I'm just like, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And then the way they end it is abysmal. Like, Gillian Anderson is done because she didn't like what happened in that. Also, she wants to get away from that character, which she's been doing a great job at. And I understand that because it always comes back to her role in the X-Files. And I know that's a sticky thing for actors, is being known for one thing. But I think she's done a good job at getting away from that. But yeah, I think they really dropped the ball on the main through line. Like I said, the Monster of the Week episodes were really good, but the main through line storyline was not it. And I think it was disrespectful as hell to the fans. And especially when there's the behind the scenes too, because there was a lot of pushback from Jillian against the creator about certain choices when she was like, she went into the 11th season being like, this is my last season. But then he still ended it the way he did it. And he was like, oh, she meant it. Whoops. Anyway, I can rant about that. But it's still my favorite show of all time. When I went to my first con is when I realized how surreal it must be for celebrities to be so recognized. A girl in front of me was straight up bawling at getting a pic with Decker Montgomery. Yeah, I've never had that vibe. Like, I might have been nervous a few times, like stammer a little bit and trying to, like, what do I even say in like the 5 seconds I'm like right here? And most of the time it's like, thanks for coming out here and for what you do, man. I really do appreciate it. I pretty much keep it just as simple for that. Or it's like, I love your work. And just that and out. You know, that's about all I do right now, man. Congrats to getting sponsored by someone who isn't Raid Shadow Legends. It's something to be proud of. But isn't that the goal? To be on YouTube and get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends? Favorite Doctor Who quote that speaks to you? For me, never trust hugs. That's a really good one. But, damn. It's... What was it? What's the whole thing? Let me see. I have it on my my Twitter bio. Yeah, laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. And the whole little spiel from Capaldi before he goes, like in his final episode. No, it's not his final episode. His final series episode, not this, including the specials. But when he's talking to the Master, I don't remember the exact wording. Here we go. Always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind. Aside from the X-Files, if you could bring back a canceled or ended show, what would it be? Wow, damn. Okay, the first one I immediately went to literally came back. I was like, that 70s show. They just did that 90s show, and it was really good. It was really, really good. Damn, that's a good one. Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans. That for sure, I think would be one I would definitely go back to and be like, hey, do this again. Or continue it even, because it was getting really good. And we never really got any closure to a lot of the storylines. Those are the first ones that immediately come to mind for me. Because yeah, it was canceled. It didn't get a chance to go out on its own thing, and then it became Teen Titans Go, and it's got its own flavor, but I can never get past the fact that we lost that show for that show. How do you doctor take out leftovers if you taste it and it's bland? Sriracha, hot sauce, ketchup. How do you doctor take out / leftovers if you taste it and it's bland? Sriracha is a good go-to that I've been using as of late to kind of add some spice. Ketchup, not so much. It just really depends. If it's something fried, maybe ketchup. Probably ketchup. But if it's like fried rice or eggs, spaghetti, something, and it's just like, this needs something, I might splash a little sriracha on it. I bring back Spectacular Spiderman for Stargirl. Does the MCU always make sense? Definitely not. It definitely does not. It's not the same, but that's how I feel about Season 9 of Scrubs and Buffy Season 7 too, really. Dude, I still stand by, I think Buffy has the worst series finale I've ever seen. I hate it. It is just awful. And I honestly, I think I forget about this, but I've never finished Scrubs. Once the main crew tapped out, I didn't come back. I know they came back eventually, but I never came back. I never finished Scrubs. Now that I completely forgot. I've never actually watched Scrubs to the end. how much her mother would beg to defer, the remote at the TV screen and broke it. I still think Buffy is way worse than How I Met Your Mother, but How I Met Your Mother is a bitch slap to everything the show has been about. What are you hoping to see in Saw 10? Hope to see some crazy traps. Oh, we certainly will. Honestly, I'm more excited to see Amanda. See, I'm learning now there's a lot of people that'll love Amanda. I hate Amanda. Like, because you're not supposed to root for Amanda. And that's why. Like, I don't hate her. I don't hate the character, but like, I do hate the character, but not because she's a bad character. I think she's really well written. She's meant to be disliked. But like, I am excited to see more of that relationship, how that formed and evolved. I'm just excited to see John Kramer being John Kramer, man, because Tobin Bell, once he was gone, man, I liked the detective stuff. I liked that a little bit. It was fine. I still haven't seen Saw 3D and Jigsaw. Still haven't seen either of those. I do need to watch those eventually. I don't know how much they'll factor in. Well, they shouldn't at all. It's a prequel. So, I don't know. I'm just excited for Tobin Bell, man. Just give me some Tobin Bell with his voice is so iconic. Did the revival reveal that Robbie Amell's character was their son that had been taken by the smoking guy? No. No. Not at all. Could have that wrong. I never saw the original series and was barely paying attention. No. Robbie Amell's character was meant to be, with season 10, they tried to set up a potential reboot direction, and Robbie Amell was basically the FBI's new Mulder. What was his name? Their names, those agents' names, I could not get past the girl's name at all. Because her name was Einstein. It's like, I can't take you seriously. And she's a redhead, and she's the skeptic. She's literally just Scully with a ponytail, and she goes by Einstein. And I'm like, no. And you have Robbie Amell, who just looks like a baby Mulder, who is basically the believer, and he's meant to be the new Mulder. So they were definitely trying to set them up to carry the franchise forward. No one latched onto that. Not because they did bad, but God, why'd you have to name her Einstein? Agent Einstein. I just couldn't. Robbie Amell. What was his character's name? Because his name wasn't the best either. Because it's just like, they weren't hiding at all what they were trying to do with them. But he was just a new agent. He didn't actually have any ties into Agent Miller. Instead of Agent Mulder, he's Agent Miller. Like they didn't even try. Like, they didn't even try. God. Anyway. How do I feel about Braveheart Garp in One Piece? I feel like he's about to give that speech every time he's speaking. Braveheart Garp. Braveheart. Hold on. Where are you at? Oh, where are you, dude? Okay, I guess I'm just gonna Control F. There you are. Insert. Yeah, I don't understand the Braveheart thing. Yeah, I'm a little lost on the reference being made right now. I apologize. My eventual Superman showing the Parasite statue was funny. Eternals, I'm looking at you. Yeah, they did that. they had to go and acknowledge it right in the next episode. And I'm wondering if that's because of this, because this would have been in development after Eternals. So that's kind of funny. What's my biggest problem with Spiral? I got two problems. First, the killer reveal, and second, the plot was lazy. I agree. I think the plot was just abysmal. The killer was obvious. Like, it was not hidden at all. I hated the voice. It was never threatening. The editing in the movie was some of the worst in the franchise. Honestly, it's probably one of the worst performances I've seen from Chris Rock. And he can do some good stuff, but like, he had one note the entire run of the movie. The killer's plan made no sense. It was a huge gap in their logic at the end of the movie, yet you're supposed to be like, oh shit, they were right, but they weren't. And the traps were just lame. The traps were lame, but it was a copycat, so I mean, you can't beat Kramer when it comes to that stuff. None of it was, I don't know. It was just, I think more than anything, I was just disappointed. And it's just not that it's not John Kramer. I know you just said that. It's not that it's not John Kramer. You could have done any other voice than what they went with. It didn't have to be Kramer. There's 1,000 more voices that wouldn't make me laugh when I hear them trying to be threatening. Doctor Who quote, the entire speech from the curator about Vincent van Gogh breaks me every time. Great scene. Great scene. We bring back Stargirl for a 4th season. Hell yeah. I wouldn't be against that one either. Favorite Doctor quote, never be cruel, never be cowardly, and if you ever are, always make amends. That's another good one. That's another really good one. What's up, Matthias? How you doing? I've seen the new MK commercial that recreates the old 1990 MK commercial where the people run through the city screaming Mortal Kombat. I did watch that. I'm not reacting to them anymore, and I'm staying away from some of the character ones because at this point I'm just like, are they showing too much? Because I want some of the surprises to be in the game when I get out there. So I'm not watching too many of the actual game trailers anymore. Though I did see some clips of Sindel, and whew, looks good. Like, I love what they're doing with her hair attacks and stuff like that. But I remember that commercial, and I loved what they did in it. Mortal Kombat! Mortal Kombat is my favorite fighting game, so whew. I mean, you're the only person with powers, and you have Superman's powers. What do you do with it? Save money on gas and car insurance. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't see myself running around just like looking for people to help, sadly. Maybe I would. I don't know. If something's on the news and I can do something, or I see something, I'll stop it. But I'll mostly just use it to like travel the world selfishly. I wouldn't like steal anything or break anything. I wouldn't go super villain or anything like that. But like, it would definitely just make life fucking easier, man. How much money you could save, especially if you didn't have to eat. What's my favorite Saw movie? For me, it's Saw 2. My favorite is probably 3. I think 3 is probably my favorite of the Saw films. Just because it wraps everything together quite nicely. Other than that, I think 1 is... if you dismantle the franchise as a whole, 1 is just iconic. I like 2, but 2's... I mean, the trilogy is better than anything that's come after it, in my opinion. But out of the first 3, 2's probably my least favorite, but I still really enjoy 2. It's still really good. The reveal at the end, whoo, is insane. But I think 3 is my overall favorite. It's also been a long time since I've seen them, so. Worse than Lost or Game of Thrones? I haven't seen Lost, so I can't speak for Lost, but yes, even worse than Game of Thrones, in my opinion. How much brother? Yeah, I actually responded to Caleb's comment about that when it came up in chat before I actually got to it. Thought it was just me. Nope. Fuck it. For me, Stargirl and Daredevil are the only shows I'd bring back, only for a final season to end it. Stargirl's ending was abysmal. I don't think it was abysmal. It was definitely fucking rushed. It definitely wasn't satisfying, but it wasn't terrible compared to some other things that I've seen. Daredevil, I think, ended properly. Even though it wasn't meant to be a series end, it bookended the start of the show. So, like, it had a thematic close. It had a reset point. That was the end of this arc. It was the end of this part of the story. So you didn't need a season 4, but a season 4 would be nice. It had like a Dark Knight Rises thing where the story is over, but you know the world goes on. That's kind of how Daredevil conveniently worked out ending. So that's why I'm not like upset about it. I just want more Daredevil because I loved what they did with Daredevil. You only need to finish season 8 of Scrubs. Oh, is that it? Is that all I missed? It was just the last season? I'll probably go back and check that out eventually. They're not bringing back Daredevil. They're rebooting it. Well, we don't know 100%. I've spoken my case on that enough, though. This new show, Marvel knows we love Daredevil. Could drop the ball, but it's unlikely. I hope they don't. I hope they don't. I can't blame you for not watching Saw 3D because that movie was terrible. Easily the worst Saw movie. Jigsaw was okay, but the timeline was confusing. I'm gonna try to watch them before the new one comes out. I don't think I'm gonna react to them. I don't feel like editing that shit. Cause that'd be so. I mean, half of the movie that people would be there to watch for would just be blurred, since you can't show shit on YouTube anymore. I would want Defender Season 2, though, or anything with Luke Cage. What is going on with Cage? I like Saw 7, at least more than Jigsaw and Spiral. Yeah, I mean, right now, Spiral's my least favorite in the franchise, but like I've said, I've not seen 3D and I've not seen Jigsaw, so that could change. Didn't know Spiral existed for so long. Best part about Saw 3D was Bobby. Bring back Smallville for a TV movie event following Crisis on Infinite Earths that would have Clark get his powers back and save the world from Lex Luthor. Call it Always Hold On to Smallville. That'd be cool. I've seen Twin Peaks. I've not. This has influenced a lot of different series. Oh, for sure. There's a lot of the original Twin Peaks, I think. It's the one I'm thinking of. There's. Oh, it came out in 1990. I know that Twin Peaks, and the Twilight Zone were inspirations to get the ball rolling for X-Files, but like again, like inspiration doesn't make something like a carbon copy. Because I've seen some people be like, say X-Files is just the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone did this first, and I was like, they are not even remotely the same in execution. So like, it's not a one-to-one, but like there are things and elements obviously that are inspired within that. No, God man, it's just like there's a. What's a good way to say this? I don't know how I'm trying to say what I'm saying. Anyway, I think you all you know what I mean. Have it be a loose adaptation of All-Star Superman. Like have him do the thing at the end as well. Interesting. I disagree with the editing in Spiral. I actually enjoyed the editing in Spiral more than Saw 3D. Again, I haven't seen Saw 3D, so you can't disagree with me because I didn't say anything about Saw 3D. Also, Superman was an animated movie. Yes, it was. It was really freaking good. The voice for the killer in Saw makes sense because of John Kramer. I already acknowledged that. Yeah, I answered that one before I got to it because I saw it pop up in chat. But no All-Star Batman or Robin movie. Nope. Fuck no. Please no. Never make an All-Star Batman and Robin movie. Actually, that's not true. It would be something to watch. It wouldn't be good. Samuel Jackson was the only redeeming thing about that movie, and even his performance was crap. Oh my god. Yeah, dude. I was like, how do you even make Sam Jackson feel wasted? I forgot he was in the movie, to be honest. I would make the voice more deeper and scarier for the copycat. See, that's what I would have liked, because it just wasn't scary. It just kind of made me chuckle every time I heard the voice. Ever reacted to the Rebel Moon teaser trailer? I did not. That is not a teaser trailer, dude. That was a 4-minute trailer. A trailer was 4 minutes. That's not a teaser. But it's a Zack Snyder teaser, so just like a movie is a movie and a Zack Snyder movie is a Zack Snyder movie, he quadrupled the length of even the teaser. I did watch it, and I talked about this last weekend. I watched it. I just didn't react to it because it looks wonderful. It looks stellar. I just didn't want to invite any of the wave, the storm back to the channel right now in the way I was feeling that day, that's for sure. Best part of Spiral is the opening trap. I can agree with that one. I can agree with that. The opening trap was mildly entertaining, actually. Saw 10 is giving me Saw 1 and 2 vibes. Yeah, which makes sense. You know, it's set between the two, so it makes sense right there. So I'm hoping that's what I got from it. Like, it looks like it has something to say about the story and about Kramer, and I'm looking forward to that. Which movie are you most excited for? Napoleon, Killers of the Flower Moon, or the Fincher movie? Killers of the Flower Moon. I've seen the trailer, and the trailer gets me emotional, man. And I'm just kind of interested in that story. I haven't actually seen the trailers for the Fincher's movie. Was it The Killers or Killer or something? It's like something Killer, right? And Napoleon. I haven't seen the trailer for it either, but yeah, I don't know. The one I'm looking forward to the most is Killers of the Flower Moon, because the cast is stacked and it's a story I want to see. If I had Superman's powers, I'd fly everywhere, never drive, kill people who anger me, take over the White House and then the world. Jeez, wow, we got our evil Superman here with Sean. The first Saw has one of the best twists I've ever seen in a movie, and I think Saw 2 might be my favorite as well, but it could be because it was the only one I saw in theaters. Dude, Saw 3, I think, was one of the last movies I saw a midnight showing at, when those actually were events and happened. We don't have those anymore here. The midnight showing hasn't existed for me. Like, I don't know if it's the same across the country, but no one does midnight showings anywhere around here anymore. And those used to be events, man. Now it's like, now we just open the movie on Thursdays. Now it's just like, fuck midnight showings, where all the crazies can come out and have fun. Everything just happens at 8, 4, 6. It's just another day. The Thursday should just be the official release date for half of these movies now. It just kind of ruined the experience of it while we do get to see it before the bulk of the showings go out. But man, the Saw 3 midnight showing was insane. I like Jigsaw. I hope Jigsaw's Apprentice comes back in future movies. There's an Apprentice? Another one? There's another one? Another Apprentice? Or are we talking about somebody who've already established? Don't say that. I haven't seen Jigsaw, so no spoilers. What would I change for Halloween Ends? I don't know, man. I don't know. There was an interesting idea there for it, but they just did not do it well. I would change the entire thing. But I also didn't like Halloween Kills either. But I don't know. The whole movie? Anyway, sorry. That's a prequel, though. What's a prequel? What's a prequel? Oh, right. Never mind. You're talking about. Gotcha. Never mind. Sorry. You were talking about Saw 10. I was a fan of Supernatural finale. I would have preferred the episode before it to be the ending. Yeah, I've only ever seen one episode ever of Supernatural, and it was when I was at the ER. What's up, brother? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Marvel drops the ball, Daredevil, they're screwed. Probably. I will definitely not be happy. 3D didn't work in the 90s. We don't need it now. Final Destination 4 was so guilty of that shit show. I've never been a huge fan of it, obviously, and I know some people are like who love 3D. Be like, just put the glasses on over your glasses. I do it and I don't have a problem. I'm just like, that is so uncomfortable for me. I can see the extra layer in both films of my glasses, both lenses. Like it just makes it worse. When I wore contacts, it wasn't that bad, but I can't wear contacts anymore, so not happening. Season 9 of Scrubs is basically the show trying to spin off / reboot at the same time and failing spectacularly. So there is a 9. Okay, I thought there was 9. I'm like one of the ones who like the ending of Lost. Didn't really watch Buffy, so I don't know how it ended. How much your mother ending was shit. Yes. Anyway, sorry. The traps that Saw 3D were terrible. Speaking of the original Mortal Kombat screaming commercial, they actually got the original red-haired actor from that commercial. Really? I didn't notice that. I didn't hear about that. That's cool. And yes, even worse than Spiral's traps. Ugh, that's not promising. Did anyone just get jump scared by an ad? Probably. It is possible. YouTube may or may not insert ads into certain things here. But yeah, you might. You know how you make an all-star Batman movie? Make it self-aware. That would possibly make it really good if it was a comedy. It is possible, but you definitely can't take it seriously. When I first heard the copycat's voice in Spiral, I was trying not to laugh. Likewise, dude. Likewise. Am I going to play Baldur's Gate on PS5? It releases 6 hours ago. I've had it for since early release on PC. I've got it on Steam. I'm definitely not playing it on console. Sorry. Not to sound PC elitist here, but yeah, I have it already on PC. I just haven't. I've got it installed. I just haven't played it. I've played through the first chapter like what 2-3 years ago. So I'm excited to see what all they've changed. And to get further into the story, but I haven't had any time to play anything since it's been out officially. Which movie are you more hyped for, Saw 10 or The Nun 2? Oh, dude, Saw 10, because The Nun was shit, in my opinion. I hated the first Nun. It was such a disappointing movie. For something they hyped up so much in the Conjuring films, I think they dropped the ball hard with The Nun. So I have no excitement for The Nun, but I am going into it hoping that it's better than the first one. The Nun is like hands down my least favorite film in the Conjuring franchise. Now, I've heard that La Llorona is not good, but I haven't seen that one. That's the only one I haven't seen in the Conjuring universe so far. Napoleon is played by Joaquin Phoenix and it's directed by Ridley Scott. Those are the only two things that I know about that movie. And those are the two things that have me mildly interested in it. Can't handle the Saw films. I can't do gore and scares me to think that someone came up with those ideas. Yeah, man. The first one was Lee Winnell, right? He was also in the movie. He's a great writer. I love the Invisible Woman that he wrote. He just nails it, man. I really wish he wrote Insidious. I know he didn't. It was based on his story. I really wish he wrote The Red Door. Thoughts on Christopher Nolan directing Scream 7? He directed Freaky and Happy Death Day. What? No. That was Christopher Landon that directed Happy Death Day, not Nolan. Maybe that was a typo. Did I misread that? I hope I misread that. Freaky was all right. I haven't seen Happy Death Day though, so I got nothing for that. I am mildly sad that the pair aren't coming back for 7, but maybe we'll get some reinvigoration on that. We'll see what happens. Keep me entertained while I'm working at a bachelor party of 20 people. Oh God. The movie itself. Damn it, beat me to it. Christopher Landon, I think you mean. That's everybody being like, wait, hold on, what? Yeah, oh yeah, my bad. Landon. Got confused with the names. Yeah, that threw me for a loop. I was like, bullshit. I call bullshit. Because like when I watched Memento, I looked at his filmography and I was like, those definitely weren't on there. Love both those films though. I still haven't seen Happy Death Day. I actually watched Freaky 2 days ago. I liked it. It was all right. I think it was overhyped. It didn't live up to the hype. I think people hyped that movie up a lot. It was fun. I had a fun time with it, but I didn't think it was like the hot shit everybody was like making it out to be, but it was fun. It was entertaining for sure. The Vince Vaughn was great. Jaws 3D, shark still looks fake. That's an understatement, dude. Jaws 3, oh, that shark, man. Oh, the grenade, the shark, the fucking harpoon. Just the fact that they did a Jaws movie in a SeaWorld is just bananas. And then they pretty much ignore everything to do with 3 in Jaws 4. Ugh. Love the Final Destinations, the ending twist for the movie. From okay to, oh, it's a prequel to the first movie. I've only watched the first one because I watched the opening 10 minutes of the second film and turned it off because it just made me mad. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I liked the first one, thought it was really good, liked how it ended, and the opening 10 minutes of the next one just pissed me off. I just never watched it again. I'm just like, I'm done. What's up, Savage? Welcome back. 3D is cool, but it's not worth paying the extra money for. The only reason I see films in 3D, it's like Avatar's case where it's actually made to be seen in 3D. And that's the whole thing. Like, and yeah, when I watched Way of Water, I watched it in 3D, and it was really beautiful. I don't think it improves the movie at all, but that's how he wanted me to see it, and I still really enjoyed the movie. I wonder how Scream 6 was in 3D. I just saw it in 2D. I saw it in 2D as well. I mean, Avatar is the last 3D film I've seen since the first Avatar. So, yeah, I don't know. I didn't realize Scream 6 was in 3D. What are you looking forward to the most this autumn? Could be movie, event, show, game, or just holiday. Is it autumn? It's autumn now, right? Technically. So, the X-Files convention in the next couple of days. Going to the 30th anniversary X-Files convention on Thursday. Or that's when I'm leaving. It's Friday through Sunday. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also nervous about it, but I'm looking forward to it a lot. And then the week after that, I'll be finally going to my first Mothman festival. It's only 30-40 minutes away. I've never gone. I'm going to be going. We're gonna be going this week, or in 2 weeks. 3D ruined Man of Steel for me. I didn't go in the movie much. So glad to give it another go now. I think it's an awesome movie. I didn't even know Man of Steel was in 3D. It even lost it in Offend Me, but it was earth-shattering compared to other moments in the show. I can't think of a better way they could have explained some things, honestly. I don't know. I know at one point I knew what the ending was, but I don't remember anymore, actually. I know I knew it, having never seen the show, I don't remember what it is. I have an idea what it is, but I don't know if it's right anymore. Just in case, I'm not going to say it. Love your hair, Omni. It's giving born with it. It's giving born with it? I don't know what that means. Is that new lingo? I don't understand the phrase, but I appreciate the love of my luscious locks. BG3 is awesome. Apparently they've changed a lot since first act. There are 3 acts in total. They said it'll take you about 75 hours to complete the story, 150 to do everything. That's one other reason I haven't started it yet. None was disappointing. I honestly thought it would be good. I was hoping it would be good because the setup was really good, and that's why it was so disappointing. And Taissa Farmiga was just fucking terrible in it. I'm sorry, she just was not enough. She could not carry that movie. Whoever edited that movie, and the director, everybody involved. Sets was cool. I don't think the actors weren't the worst part of it, but you could I know, like, a lot of time you can sense when a scare's coming, but like you could count it down. And they did the same thing like 100 times. That me and my girlfriend, when we went and watched it, we were just laughing our asses off at most points, and then it just kept happening, and then I think after a point we got really annoyed. Obviously there are tons of combinations with all the classes and races, and I'll probably be at 100,000 hours of game. Yeah, I'm stuck right now trying to like decide what I want to play. I've seen none of them. Ha 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 ha. Funny. Goddamn. Dork. Watched the first Nun and it was meh. Really hope the second one is better than the first one. I mean, this is a prequel, so they gotta hype this fucker up somehow. Now it's a fallen angel. Christopher Nolan's version of Happy Death Day would be amazing. Watch Happy Death Day, it's so goddamn good. I've heard really good things about it, but I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I'll react to it for October. I don't know. I'm not making promises, because something else could come out around that point. Get a medal for comedy, Rebecca. For the puns. After Scream was written by an openly gay man with Kevin Williamson, Scream 7 gets to be directed by an openly gay director. The gays are eating. Hell yeah, man. Actually, I didn't know that about Kevin Williamson. That's cool. I mean, all the ones he's written is just, I mean, obviously there's some of they're my favorites. It's hard to touch like his penmanship. But I'm curious to see what happens with it. I still really didn't like 5. It was okay. I still like it more than 3, but it's all right. 6 though, I really enjoy it. It's got a lot of problems, but I still really enjoyed it. I don't know what this was for. Zavid's reaction to Freaky made it funnier. I don't know who that is. I'll take Scream 2 is the worst. Oh my god. Okay. We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. Looks like we need to band together to get Happy Death Day as a poll winner for Halloween. Maybe you should. Maybe you should. The fact that Jaws is an actual franchise amazes me. Proves that you can't replicate lightning in a bottle. I don't think 2 is a bad film. It's nowhere near as good as the first. The first is almost a perfect movie. 3 is straight garbage. I enjoy 4, but 4 is hokey. 4 was hokey. The biggest surprise about 4 was Michael Caine being in it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Jaws 1 and 2 were okay. It's much like with Terminator for me. Except, you know, Judgment Day, I feel like, is better than the first film. Or Tremors 1 and 2. I enjoy those two. From there onward, the franchise just suffers. I felt like Jaws was kind of the same thing, but, like, the first movie is untouchable. It's just great. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I was so glad I could finally see it in theaters during the pandy. When they didn't have anything new to show, they were showing old movies, and I finally got to see Jaws and Jurassic Park again in theaters. Jurassic Park again in theaters, and Jaws for the first time. Somehow One Piece got there. If One Piece can get there, so can Happy Death Day. One Piece didn't. One Piece was me. I was like, I'm watching One Piece. So that, it was new. It's a big deal. I've watched all of their attempts at live action anime up until this point, and this one looked like it was promising, and I'm fucking loving it. Agree. Scream 2 is the worst of the franchise, closely followed by 5. I do recant on what I've said before. Going back, 1 is, I think, my favorite. Followed by 2. I don't understand the distaste for 2. I just don't understand it. Because for me now, like, it's 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 3. Last 3D film I saw was Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Terrible idea. I can't sleep. I couldn't sleep that night. Ooh, yeah, I could imagine that. My ranking for the Scream movies: 1, 4, 6, 5, 3, 2. Meg feels like a sequel to Jaws or a reboot. I don't know about that one. I've not seen Meg though, but I don't know how you could connect the two other than big shark, super big shark. Maybe it's Maybelline. Oh cool, Seth Rogen just announced a 2-season 2D animated show sequel to Mutant Mayhem. It'll air in 2024, 2025 while they are working on a sequel movie. Really? That'll be fun. That could be interesting. Where's your Darkwing Duck, Seth? You announced it 3 years ago. We haven't heard anything. I'm waiting. This is a big phrase. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's... Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know the whole thing. My apologies. It's my problem with horror franchises. Groundbreaking debut with diminishing returns until it gets revitalized and it starts all over again. That is pretty much it. Very few, though, manage to revitalize, though, is the thing. You might have a few here and there that manage to pull it off, but yeah. Scream 6 is my second favorite after the first one. You should play Starfield or Immortals of Avium. I've not heard of that one. Starfield, I have zero interest in. Nothing about it looks appealing to me personally. And that's not anything on it. It's just like Bethesda games in general. Like I struggle with. Just in one, holding my attention and just staying interested. Fallout's been the closest to really kind of do anything to hook me, but I've still also never been able to finish a Fallout game, which is why I'm hoping the show ends up being good, because like with One Piece, then I can just watch the show. Maybelline is makeup, right? Because it's worth it. And that's the hair ad. I thought, isn't Maybelline hair? I don't remember. Halloween Kills is overhated in my opinion. I enjoyed it more than Ends. My only problem with Kills, though, was the characters. Here's the thing. I think Ends was a better movie than Kills. Because Kills really isn't a movie. Halloween Ends is a better movie than Kills. But I enjoyed, even though I don't like Kills, I enjoyed it more than Ends because it was just funny. It was fun to make fun of Kills, at least. And then I just felt like Ends just dropped the whole ball on the whole momentum, and there's just way too many plot holes way too many plot holes between kills and that. But yeah, I don't know. I liked the 2018 film, and it's just one of those things where I was like, all right, this wasn't perfect, but it was better than most of the Halloween sequels we've ever gotten. And then, yeah, it just didn't pay it off for me. And Halloween's my favorite horror franchise. So, womp womp. I like the Thorn trilogy more than I like what they ended up doing with this requel. With all the interpretations of video games by streaming miniseries, I wonder if anyone would grab We Happy Few. That could be interesting. I've never played it, but I've watched people play it, and it's got an interesting take. I know we're getting a live-action BioShock, which that's like touching some sacred shit right there, Netflix. I know you're doing it. You've announced it. Be careful. But We Happy Few could be a really interesting show. Hot take, I like the MTV Scream TV show. Just on essence, I refused to watch it when it came out. It was one of those things that was like, that's sacrilege to make it. So I've never seen it. I've never seen a second of the show. The Scream TV show was great. OPLA episode 4, please. Yeah, tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was better. Season 3 was bad. Oof. I don't know why people hated Halloween Ends. Yes, it's a stupid thing to end off the franchise, but I still liked it because it's Halloween. I love Halloween. I think that's why one of the reasons why I didn't like it either. Was that just that reason too? It was like, just because it's Halloween doesn't make it Halloween to me. They had an interesting idea that I think I would have liked more if it wasn't the end of this trilogy. So yeah, I don't know. It just didn't work as a conclusion to what they were doing. But I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Zavid is another reactor on YouTube. He's got unique humor. I wonder, have they popped up in my circles? Would I recognize them if I saw them? Oh, okay. I've seen this. I've seen them pop up in my recommendeds a time or two. I was like, hey, it's Freddie Mercury. I have not actually watched any of their reactions though. Might have to check them out. But God, I'm watching so many people these days, man. It's hard to keep up with everybody. Scream 2 was terrible on me. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. You know? It's okay. It's okay, Chosen. You can't always choose the right option. I know. It might pain you, but it is what it is. What Hogwarts house are you in? Hufflepuff. I always saw myself as a Ravenclaw for a long time, but I could never not get Hufflepuff. And the older I get, the more I realize, I'm a Hufflepuff. I love ravens, raven imagery. They're like one of my favorite animals, so I was like, I wanted so much for it. And some aspects of it, I think, line up, but yeah, no, it's Hufflepuff. It lands. It tracks. I've accepted it at this point. Season 3 of Scream wasn't even in the same continuity. What? Why would they do that? Save it as gold. Save it as coded. Let's talk about Omni, please. I'm kidding. I love recommendations, man, because a lot of the time when I have downtime, I'm just like watching other reactors watch the same shit. Whether it's something I just reacted to see how other people are reacting to it, or I'm just finding new people that are reacting to Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time. Would have worked way better. Oh, shit. Sorry, skip that, I think. Honestly, Corey should have been in Halloween Kills. Yeah, if they set up Corey earlier than just that movie, that could have worked. If they built it up. It just came out of nowhere. It was, like I said, it was interesting. It just felt like, why are we doing this here? That's not what we were building up. It was weird. It was like an odd decision. Would have worked way better. I agree about that. That's for sure. That reminds me, totally recommend Killer Frequency, the game. If you like the Scream movies. I've not heard of that. I have to look at it. Let's see. Hot take. Rob Zombie's Halloween movies are the best Halloween movies. I like the first one. The second one, I almost walked out of the theater. I left it, like, mad. I've never watched it again since. It was hard to watch enough the first time for me. It's my least favorite Halloween movie, is the second Rob Zombie Halloween film. Still, so we'll go with that. Meg literally jumped the shark with another shark. I think Scream 2 is honestly an excellent sequel. I don't hate 3 as much as others, and I would like 4 less than most. But I'll watch any of them on any given day. I'm right there with you, Heather. Right there. Literally just finished your reactions to Dark. What a great watch. Thanks. Oh, thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate that. I had such a blast watching that show, and I'm glad I went into it knowing next to nothing. Actually, I just didn't know anything other than the title, really. Immortals of Avium is cool. It's a fantasy magic-based first-person shooter. Maybe I'll look into it. I don't mind shooters all that much. I'll have to take a look at it. Haven't heard of it, though, so it'll be something new. Hot take, didn't care for Mutant Mayhem. Felt way too juvenile for me. It was a well-made film, but it wasn't for me. Will age like milk. Maybe. I mean, it still doesn't touch the original 1990 film. None of them have. But I had fun. It wasn't my favorite Turtles thing, but it had fun. I had fun. I think there is a lot of potential and promise because they're really kind of just starting. So I'm curious to see what they do with it going forward. They're literally shooting balls of fire and stuff out of your palm as you fight people. I'll have to take a look at it. Scream 3 has Carrie Fisher and Jay and Silent Bob. Nothing to hate. Which is interesting because in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, they're on the set of Scream 3. So even though there's a continuity disconnect between the two, they made a crossover there. But yeah, Carrie Fisher being in the archives, being like, yeah, I know, I look like the woman that fucking whatever. And it's like, but I'm not the one that slept with Lucas. I forgot what she said, but she was like, yeah, I lost out to the woman that slept because I wouldn't sleep with Lucas. Basically, like, throwing shade at herself, which was kind of funny. Don't judge me, but yes, Maybelline is makeup, and the You're Worth It is L'Oreal, which does makeup, skincare, and hair care. I'll jump in a well now. Well, at least you'll have water. Zack Snyder should direct BioShock TV show, given he has so much of a hard-on for Ayn Rand and her philosophy, which the games are based on. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. I need to do some research. That sounds like some smart shit I don't understand. I love BioShock to the point where I refuse to play any of the sequels. I dabbled in BioShock Infinite because at first I thought it was just it was disconnected. So I was like, okay. When they did the direct sequel, BioShock 2, I was like, fuck you. Not touching you. But when they did BioShock Infinite, I was like, I ran into the same problem where I couldn't stay focused and I lost track of it and I never finished it. But I still dove into it and enjoyed most of what I played. But the first game, man, I loved the first game. Will ever be appearing alongside Real Rejects again? As far as I know, I think we got something lined up. It's been real busy on both fronts, especially over there because they've been doing more movie reactions and more stuff with other people as well in there. They've expanded the team. I've talked to Greg plenty. So like that's still going on, and we've helped each other with certain things here and there. You know, I gave John and Coy the recording for My Adventures of Superman so they could get it because they didn't have access to Adult Swim or anything like that. So I helped them get that up and running and stuff like that. So there's a lot of interaction and behind the scenes collaboration we still do, but like getting time to film, especially considering I'm 3 hours ahead of them, is very difficult, and they've been very busy, and I understand that. I'm not like pressuring anybody, but I think he had messaged me like a week or two ago about a potential movie reaction we might do together. So I'll save that for if it happens, because I don't want to hype anything up that might fall through. Either way, I'll be reacting to the movie whether it's with them or here. So it's one of those situations, at least. Objectivism is so stupid. Yeah. Halloween Kills felt more like an ending. You have Michael Myers at his full potential and the mob kills him at the end. I mean, if they had actually killed him, I think that would have been satisfying. If the town of Haddonfield united together to defeat this evil, I think that is a worthy end for Michael. You know, I think that could have, that if they had done that well, that would have been a great end. But then they just shoved it into the end of ends. With the surprising success of Barbie, do you think Mattel would make a Hot Wheels movie about adult male friendship and the importance of putting effort into and work into keeping connections alive? I don't think I don't know that they'll think any of this through at all, knowing the way executives thinks. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know, but that could be done well. I'm not wrong though. Scream 2 was laughably bad. To you. Most people like 2 more than 1. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. But that doesn't mean you're wrong for not liking 2 or thinking it's bad. I'm just like, you're acting like it is the right opinion. And it is an opinion. I'm subbed to over 150 YouTube channels and almost 20 Patreons. Damn. Hell yeah. I don't know how many YouTube channels I'm subscribed to. I only watch like a handful these days, and most of it's reaction channels. Trying to make sure like I'm not butting into a conversation. Let's see. I was always a Hufflepuff as a kid, and more recently I feel like I'd asked to be in Gryffindor. I'm content now. I was like insulted before when I kept getting Hufflepuff, but now I'm just like, no, makes sense. Just an edgy little emo kid back then though, so I was like, Ravenclaw! Team Hufflepuff. Hufflepuffs for the win. I'm a Slytherin, living in Hufflepuff colors, because everyone loves and trusts Hufflepuff. Not so much Slytherin. So you're a snake in Badger's clothing. More recently, though, I've been embracing the green. Yeah, just embrace who you are. Not just because a bunch of asshats live in Slytherin, not everybody's going to be an asshat in Slytherin. You just have different approaches. You know, there's positive traits of Slytherin. They just don't get focused on at all. Another Slytherin here from Janine. Second, Rob Zombie Halloween movie was top tier. Dude. All right, I'm done. I think you're just trying to fight me. Least favorite Halloween is 5. My least favorite is still, yeah, no. Even like as bad as 6 is, and as bad as Resurrection is, I still find entertainment in it. Versus some of the things that just I didn't find any. Been watching a lot of recent reactions to The Crow. I hate how old that movie is, and it's so 90s, and the vibe is so thick, I can't help but love it. Dude, I love The Crow. The Crow is so good. So good. Which trilogy has the best sequel? Are we talking a specific trilogy or any trilogy? Ginger. Clarify, and once I see it in the chat, I'll answer this one. Gryffindor, but I'm not sure why. I don't think it fits my personality. I'm thinking more Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw. See, I thought that too, until I was like, never mind. I realized this. But who knows? Maybe you're just, it's not that time for you to realize the truth. That you're the hero. I don't know. It's just a fun little thing. I don't take it too seriously, but like honestly, like the older I get, the more I'm like, dude, like some of these Hufflepuff things are just on the nose. The best Halloween timeline is the H2O minus Resurrection. Yeah, I agree with that. I prefer the Thorn trilogy stuff, even though I admit it's not good. Like in quality, it's just entertainment. It's fun. Dude, Paul Rudd gives the worst performance of his career in Halloween 6, dude. Oh my god. But yeah, H2O was actually a lot of fun. I don't know why I like H2O as much as I did. I think it's because I like the idea of Jamie and Curtis and Josh Hartnett being related in it. I think it was just handled pretty well. I think it was handled pretty well. In the end. Even H2O is better than Halloween. Oh my god. Dude, Chosen just wants to fight people, man. Yas. Real Rejects. I met Aaron, who's a recurring guest on there 2 days ago. Aaron? I'm not sure which one that is. Off the top of my head. The first Halloween is better than Halloween Ends. Oh yeah, the first Halloween is probably the best Halloween. Bioshock 3, you gotta finish the twist, one of the biggest twists in video games. You mean Infinite, right? I'm not missing a game, right? You mean Infinite? Objectivism is a philosophical system developed by Ayn Rand. It is based on the idea that reality is objective, absolute, and facts are facts regardless of a person's feelings. It's interesting because I feel like Zack Snyder challenges a lot of that a lot of the time. I don't know. But, I mean, thing is, it's hard to like, not to go into this rabbit hole too much, but all I'll say is like, it's weird because like I've thought about this as well. It's like everybody uses their own experiences to formulate their own opinions about the world around them. And all we are seeing is like our interpretation of the world based on signals going into our eyeballs that our brain is interpreting. So like the things we see, the colors that we see, aren't the colors that these things are. They're the colors these things are not. Because it is the things that they reflect. So it's just like, there's a lot of weird thought experiments you can get into when you start thinking about perception and reality. 2018, Halloween 2018 was so good. I had a few issues with it, but yeah, it was so good by comparison. Isn't Hot Wheels basically the Fast and Furious franchise? I mean, kinda. It's definitely Halloween 2018 is probably my favorite Halloween movie post Halloween 1 and 2. Objectivism values individualism, believe that people should act in their own self-interest, basically be selfish and do whatever you want. Interesting. There's a philosophy that Bioshock games are making fun of, commenting on. Interesting. I have to go into it and think about it like that in that way. Family in tiny cars. I feel like you're just trolling at this point. Oh, what? Oh, God. People. Before I unsubbed to everyone before, I subbed to like 1,000 plus people on YouTube, and now I've unsubbed you lots, and I have like 20 some subbed. Yeah, I need to do a purge on my own. That's about family. I was thinking more about friendship, community, really. Like collectors, like as a hobby. Keep it cool. Yeah, like, guys, like, be chill. Like, I don't tolerate, like, antagonism in the chat. So if anything weird's happening I'm not catching, let me know. Do you feel like it could be a bad idea for Disney to release What If Season 2 and the Percy Jackson series around the same time? No, I don't think so, because they don't really cross over at all. I don't think there's a lot of crossover in those markets. I wouldn't think so. I think either way it's going to be very low impact anyway. They need the engagement, so dropping them both might actually work all that well. I don't think the Percy Jackson series is going to blow up. Like, it's got definitely a passionate base around it and fandom around it, but I think just like Willow, it might be a thing that just kind of happens, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I hope it does well. It's okay. I was emo too and still am. Chain wallets, black eyeliner, nail polish forever. Hell yeah. Rock it. For real though, the second Rob Zombie Halloween movie was bad. Empire Strikes Back. Oh yeah, I forgot. Did Ginger respond? Any trilogy. And what was the question again? Exactly. Which trilogy has the best sequel? I'm gonna say either Empire Strikes Back or The Dark Knight. Probably. Where did I leave off? Here we are. Oh, I literally just had to go down just one shot here. I'm 45. I think it's too old to suddenly get all heroic. Hey, you never know. Shit happened, man. Sometimes some of us hit our hero arc at a different point in time. Am I the only one who thought J.K. and J.R.R. Tolkien were the same person when they were younger? I did not. I can tell you I didn't. I can't speak for everybody else, though. I wonder if Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, will ever tie in with other Halloween movies. Other than being referenced in the recent trilogy, doubt it. Doubt it. That's what I am. I love to troll people. Just be reasonable. It's a maze. Enjoying your reactions to live-action One Piece. Do you think there will be a future of you uploading One Piece anime reactions if you continue to enjoy it? Okay, so I'm of two minds. This has already crossed my mind because, like I've said in my reactions, I do heavily have an itch to watch the anime right now. Two problems with that. Anime is dangerous for YouTube. Some people are still thriving, but you never know. At any point, you can be struck down. Second thing is that I kind of also like going into this without any kind of expectation. So if it gets a season 2, as much as I want to continue, I do also kind of would like to experience it blind as well. Would I tarnish my newbie experience if I now knew what and started comparing it to the show? So I've got, like, I'm of two minds about that. Like, I could watch the anime and just keep on going because I know I'd be so far ahead by the time a season 2 of this would even come out. So, you know, I would from that point onward, it would kind of change the way I'm reacting to it. So I don't know. I'm really conflicted about it. What's better, Child's Play 2019 or Annabelle 2014? Dude, Dude, I'm a hardcore Child's Play fan. And while I feel like they fundamentally changed a little too much about it for the reboot, it was still a decent movie. I think it was better than Annabelle. The best thing about the Annabelle, the first Annabelle, that was the apartment building, right? Was the elevator sequence. I think that was kind of it. So I think Child's Play was a better movie than the first Annabelle. And for me. Time is Illusion. Mind blown. About 24 is way better than the reboot of Child's Play. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. If you take any attachment to the Child's Play brand or what they did before, I think it's a much better paced, structured, and maybe not as, I don't know, man, not as, I don't know. I just think the first Annabelle was kind of boring. The most creative moment in it was, like I said, the elevator sequence in the hallway. I don't know. As much as, like, as a purist I was, I thought what they did with the Child's Play with AI was interesting. Though, Megan did it better. Are there any... There's a movie about Ayn Rand starring Helen Mirren and Eric Stoltz that was truly one of the most awful movies. Interesting. Eric Stoltz. The Marty McFly that never was, unless you watch The Flash. Who are your top 5 characters on Attack on Titan? Whew. In no particular order, Levi, man. Levi. Aaron, obviously. I really like Reiner. And he's frustrating, but I really, really do like Reiner. Just trying to think, because I'm trying to remember everybody, because there's such a huge cast, and I'm also trying to think about characters that may not be around anymore as well. Dude, Jean, great character, and Mikasa. I'd probably go with Mikasa as well. No particular order. It's hard though, because I like so many characters too. So there's like Hanji I really like, Falco I really like. But I'd say, like, if I had a top 2, it would be Levi and Aaron. Always chill, but if we play Jackbox again, I'm gonna be crazy. You wanna get nuts? Let's get nuts. I feel like John Wick 4 was a good sequel to the trilogy. It was alright. It was good. It was a good movie. I had to watch it 2 times to appreciate it, though. Dark Knight, Empire Strikes Back, or Aliens. The thing about Aliens, though, I don't know if I don't consider it a trilogy. So that's why I didn't include it. Godfather Part 2, hands down. I've never seen a single Godfather film. Fortunately. Or like buddies going racing and how they boost each other and bring about the best in each other rather than destroy. It's not family, but it's about helping if you see someone who needs you. Where's the Hot Wheels come back? Or are we just doing large cars? You got to do tracks. You got to do speed racer stuff like this. If you do it anything like Barbie, there's got to be a Hot Wheels worldwide where everything's just made of orange tracks, power loops, zip zooms, and all of that. Wait. What's up? I'm so sorry if I mess up your name. Tunjia. Been binging Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2. And Stranger Things. Just stop by to show some love. Well, thank you. And correct me on how to say your name, because I hate when I mispronounce people's names, because I feel like I'm being disrespectful. When you say you're binging The Last of Us 2, you mean also, or like, are you watching people play the second game? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the reactions and all of that. And thanks for stopping in. We try to do this every Saturday. I won't be here next weekend because I'll be out of town, but every Saturday we kind of hang out, so come join us. The Dark Knight, or Dark Knight Rises. Enjoy Dark Knight more than Rises. Oh yeah, no, Dark Knight, definitely more than Rises. That's why I said Dark Knight. I would have said Dark Knight Rises if I meant otherwise. Empire Strikes Back, of course, but also Two Towers and Dark Knight. See, out of the Lord of the Rings films, the first one's my favorite. So, I don't know. I do like both. I do love the whole trilogy as a whole, but yeah. I kind of wish Halloween 3 had done well. I think it would have been cooler if Halloween had a Halloween anthology movie series. If ever a movie ever just flopped, they could have just went in with a new direction. Yeah, but I just... it's weird to me, though. We did 2 Michael Myers movies back-to-back and then one that's just not. If they had wanted to do the anthology thing from the get-go, they shouldn't have done a sequel to the first movie at all. I think they fucked it up already. They set an expectation and then broke the expectation, and I don't think that worked. But it could have been interesting. You know what was a missed opportunity? More Star Wars anthology films. That would have been cool, for sure. We're supposedly getting some offshoots, so we'll see what happens. Scene 2, I hope there's more to Luffy's crew, because we only have 4 people, including Luffy, and if you look at the image to Luffy's crew, there's a lot more. Yeah, we're definitely not going to get everybody right now, just yet. But yeah, we'll get there, assuming. Do I have a favorite Doctor Who villain? Mine is definitely the Daleks. Any episode that they get has my... any episode that they're in gets my attention. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I love the Daleks. I know a lot of people are kind of fed up with it, but I love the Daleks. Anytime they pop up, I'm kind of giddy. There have been a few times where I'm like, oh, well, this was kind of lame that had Daleks in it, but I still, for the most part, chances are I'll enjoy a good Dalek episode. I wish you could move to Cali. I mean, long term, that's kind of the plan. What's my favorite Atla episode and character? Mine is Zuko alone and Zuko. Sokka in close second. Zuko's hands down one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. Zuko is my favorite character in that show. I love me some Zuko. Hardcore relate to Zuko. Favorite episode? I don't know if I can pin it down to a single episode. There's just so many good ones. The one where we meet Toph is a good contender. And the one where they escape the boiling rock is also one of my favorites, because that moment with May and Azula, dude, that gets me every time. Oh, and that line she throws, so good. Sokka's Master is a good one. Just trying to like scan through it in my head right now. I think I'm okay with those for right now. Completely understand. One thing I do enjoy, though, as someone who is caught up to the manga, is that the live action adds its own spin to the story and condenses the arcs really well. Yeah, it's just a weird push and pull. Like, you can get... There's the thing, that's why, like, I've made sure to put, like, I have not watched the anime in the title to kind of help people out, because I got some people like, why are you even watching this? You haven't even seen the anime. And I was like, that's the reason I'm watching it. Like, you get something different based on that trajectory, so it adds a different flavor to different reactions. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know, I'm conflicted, because I've done the reverse. Like, for Cowboy Bebop, I have seen Cowboy Bebop, so like when I watched that, I had comparisons to make while I was watching it. So like when I've seen something, I'm always comparing it to the other thing. So here I'm kind of free of that, and I just kind of, it's trying to sell me the thing without me having seen the thing, and it's kind of an interesting dichotomy that comes out of it. Have you ever seen the Atlas Shrugged trilogy? No. Never even heard of that. The trilogy was so bad that they had an entirely new cast each movie. It's based on a book by Ayn Rand. I never heard of it. For Atla, I love Zuko, he is my first, Sokka's second, third Aang. Aang gets annoying sometimes. Aang, like some protagonists, does get annoying sometimes. But yeah, Zuko is definitely my favorite. This Barbie is a Hot Wheel. Weeping Angels are the best villains for Doctor Who, hands down. They get creepy vibes and I love it. I think they were great when they were introduced, but I think the more we saw them, the less I found them creepy. I still love seeing them pop up, but like, I don't know. For Daleks, it's just the bickering, the voice. Sometimes they make me chuckle, but at the same time, they're just so fucking evil. But they also make me laugh. But they're also super deadly. But sometimes you can just find an easy way to kill them. I don't know. They're weird. They're great for any situation. But Weeping Angels are really, really good. Cybermen are the ones I'm just kind of meh about. If we're talking like all the main big bad enemies of the Doctor. Have I seen Malignant? Same actress from Annabelle as the lead in the film, Annabelle Wallis. Yeah, I've seen Malignant. I didn't understand what I was watching when I watched it for the first time, so my review that is on the channel is very much like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I have issues with it. I did find it entertaining, though, because it was kind of batshit insane. It has aged better for me since having seen it. What are my top 10 shows? You mentioned Breaking Bad, but what are the others? Let me pull up my list, because I know I made some changes. I don't remember the order is the thing. There you are. So X-Files is my number 1. Friends is my number 2. Breaking Bad is my number 3. Doctor Who is number 4. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, number 5. And again, these are favorite, not best. These are my favorite. Those are very different things. 6 is Avatar: The Last Airbender. 7 is Arrow. 8, The Legend of Vox Machina. 9, Cobra Kai. And 10, Stranger Things. Runner-ups, The Flash, Naruto. I didn't know if I wanted to put anime in there or not. Game of Thrones, That 70 Show, and Dragon Ball Z. Did we lose Sean? Maybe we did. I don't know. I feel like Great Fellowship was one of the best in the trilogy, but it was only counting the sequels. Fair enough. Rise is Nolan's worst film. It's one of the few movies that it's terribly written and can tell he's depth-brooding The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, it's not the best. I'm not sure if I've seen My Hero Academia, but would you have some faith in a live-action Netflix series going to come, if done right, now that the One Piece live-action series is out? I mean, it's definitely plausible. I think from what I've seen of One Piece so far, it's definitely doable, though. They just got to have somebody who cares about the source material, and they got to have the money to back it. I've seen the first episode of My Hero Academia, but that's it. But it's one of the shows that I've been wanting. I've been kind of, if I had the time and the energy, I've been wanting to get back into it. Because I've been so out of whatever the current modern day big anime are that's not Attack on Titan. And Attack on Titan might as well be in my top 10, man. Attack on Titan is one of the best written shows I've seen, especially animated. All the moral quandaries and the ethical challenges of the entire show is just, it's heavy. Daleks are the best too. I honestly get chills when I see them again. And Dawn of the Jedi movie, it's being directed by James Mangold, looks awesome. Can't wait to see the birth of the Force in the Star Wars as a biblical epic. Me too. I can't wait for that. And I'm still really curious, but also very cautious about what Taika Waititi is going to do. But we'll see what happens. Favorite episode was where Sokka drank the watermelon juice, cactus juice. Oh my god, that was amazing. Yeah. Dude, him like looking at the big old mushroom cloud, freaking out. That was fun. Best quote from the docs to the Cybermen. This is not war. This is pest control. That was a good one. That was some good shade shot from them in that one. You're superior in one respect. You are better at dying. That's another. I remember that one. Dude, the Daleks are sassy. Love the docs, and I find their voice as hilarious as it is threatening. Same. It's one of those things. It can be both. Is there a movie you loved when you were younger that hasn't aged well? I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Yeah, I'm struggling to think of one. I'm sorry about that. I think the Weeping Angel should only have been in the episode Blink, just a one episode appearance, and it gets into your soul. I think that could have had a link. That could have been interesting, because I think the things that they did with them later took some of the mystery away a little bit, especially with the you hold the image of one, you become one thing. I don't know how I like that. It was an interesting concept for the episode, considering, but I don't know. Nothing's topped that first one for the Angels for me. Dogs' voices are so hilarious, and they're hard to kill, and can't kill them with bullets. The movie's really insane, but I liked it and thought the actress was fantastic. She did great. She did a really good job in it. German Daleks. Exterminating. I love your favorite shows. All the shows that you listed are my faves too. I think the Doctor Who is my first or second favorite. Top 10 shows just have a taste. None of them are really that similar to each other. But yeah, they're just the shows that probably mean the most to me, you know? Like Power Rangers. Like, it's not the best show. Like, the effects, writing, acting, whatever, but my god, do I love it. Favorite shows are BoJack Horseman, Attack on Titan, Breaking Bad, Arcane, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Vivi Fluorite Eyes song? That one I've never heard of. I've seen like an episode or 3 of BoJack Horseman. I struggled to get into it, but that was a while back. I don't know if I should give it another try one of these days. Arcane, also phenomenal. Check out my reactions if you have not. Do you think the Master from Doctor Who is the best villain? He's cool, insane, and that's what you really need for a villain. He's probably my favorite villain. Like, I love the Daleks as like an enemy race, this always threatening presence that exists in the universe. But the Master is just so much fun to watch, especially with Missy, especially with I always forget the actor's name, but the version that played with Tennant. They're just fun to watch. And Sacha Darwin did a banger job with what he brought to the table for that character. But Missy also, there's just so many great Master Doctor stuff. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of there. I know a lot of people are kind of sick of the Master at this point, but I don't mind. What's up, Ragu? Hope you're well. National Cinema Day here today. All tickets €4. So even though I've seen them separately, saw Barbenheimer today, €8 for 2 movies, couldn't resist. Yeah, I've missed out on that whole thing, that whole act, because I think they were doing that here, but I haven't partaken. For me, Chasing Amy was a movie I loved when it came out, but it definitely didn't age well. Or maybe, rather, I aged well and learned more. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it again. I could see that from a perspective, but I've heard some like breakdowns of it in recent years that I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it, but I imagine it probably didn't. But I'm very curious about that one. That's one of his movies I haven't watched too many times because it's probably his best movie. But it's one of those movies that, like, it's hard to watch again because it's kind of a painful movie to watch in, like, the emotional way, kind of. I don't know. It's got one of those endings. It just doesn't make you feel good in the end, for me. We've been able to should have been event villains, similar to the Master, etc. Could see that. Ace Ventura as a kid, now the transphobe homophobia is a huge turnoff. See that? Yeah, there's a lot of that for sure for things that came out back then. I mean, I guess maybe because I grew up during the time, like I'm not somebody who's going to go back and try to look at it with today's lens, but I guess that's kind of the point of did it age well, but I think like it can still be appreciated despite it, but you just got to recognize that like things were just kind of different at the time. Doesn't excuse it, doesn't make it right, but things just, that's not how things work. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't remember Ace Ventura that well. I know I've seen it, but I don't think I've seen it since I was like 5 or 8, something in that range. BoJack is an acquired taste, but holy crap, man, I stuck with it and it's so goddamn good. Sasha is my favorite master ever. Just wish he had better stories to work with. Dude, he really brought it. For sure. And I like that he has some Doctor Who history. He was also in Iron Fist, guys. He was also in Iron Fist seasons 1 and 2. But he was in, shoot, what was that called? My Adventures Through Time and Space. The kind of like biopic about the creation of Doctor Who. He was one of the founders in it. I forget the guy's name, one of the producers that started the show. So he had some kind of history with it already. It was just really cool. Once I first saw the actor who played as Jack in Doctor Who, I didn't know it was Malcolm Merlyn, and I was shocked. The person who played Brainiac was in the show too, from Supergirl. Really? I haven't recognized Wrath in any, Jesse Wrath, right? I haven't recognized him in any of those. I have to take a look. I don't remember him being in an episode of Doctor Who. Watch your Memento reaction. It's one of my favorite movies, and I love Christopher Nolan. Do you think you'll ever react to The Prestige? It's one of my favorite films from him. I mean, one of these days, probably. It's one that I've really wanted to watch, but I've just never had the time to give it a go. I know when it was in theaters, when I saw the trailers for it, I remember really wanting to see it, and I just never did. Watched The Prestige in history class last year, and it's pretty good, honestly. Is there a childhood movie that you watched as an adult and it has a whole new meaning? For me, The Hunchback, Ferngully, didn't 100% get it as a kid, but now I do. I mean, I'm just bad at thinking of things, but I can't. Both these questions, nothing immediately is coming to mind. It's hard for me to remember what all I saw and when. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm struggling to think of anything right now on that front. Like, I understand probably some things that I didn't pick up when I watched it, but I never had to rewatch it to pick that up, so I don't know how that quantifies. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know how to answer that right now. I don't know if I have a good answer. Currently, my favorite shows, in no order, is Psych, Ted Lasso, Stranger Things, The Bear, and Friends. Hell yeah. Little Mermaid, I supported her as a kid. Now, on the dad side. I do think Triton is very much so in the wrong in a lot of ways. Still, to this day. However, she was also incredibly stupid. But that's a teenage kid at that point. You know, that's just how you act. So it is accurate, but I'm on Noah's side. I think everybody's just kind of shitty. This Prestige, in my opinion, is Nolan's best film. Jackman and Bale are so good in it. Hyping it up, man. I've mostly been in a comedy phase because of needing lightheartedness. I get into those swings too, Heather. I totally get that. Damn, I thought there was no live today. That's next weekend, actually. We still had a live this weekend. Next Saturday. What's up, Funky? I would love a well-done Atla video game, an open-world role-playing action adventure game where one can create their own bender/character. That would be really awesome. I've thought about that very same thing, which is another thing I thought about too, is like an Atla tabletop would be really cool. Likewise, I don't know why there's not like a Pokemon MMO, or why there's not a licensed one. I know the assholes over at Nintendo and Game Freak have shut down fan-made stuff. There was a fan-made Pokemon tabletop that was really good. That got shut down, got a cease and desist. They should just make one. I think they'd make a killing if they just put out an official tabletop or did an MMO. I don't know how. I'm shocked we've never had a Pokemon MMO. That would suck me into it, dude. And I'm burned out on MMOs. As I'm late, made already discussed. Do you think Morok is Starkiller? It's a fun theory, but I don't see it happening. It's a fun theory. I think he's just somebody else. I think he's probably just somebody we've never met. It's probably going to be as simple as that. But it's a fun idea. All I can say for certain is I do not think it's Ezra. I'm pretty confident about that. I don't know if this is 100% true, but I read that Doom Patrol is coming back in October, apparently. So there was a rumor that it had a release planned that was going around by some scoopers, but somebody that I know that has contacts with WBTV PR's team has confirmed they do not have a release date right now still. So whatever's come out about that, I would just take it with a grain of salt, but I just hope we get it eventually, man. I really liked Crystal Skull as a kid, but now I think it's the worst indie film. Yeah, I still stand by that one, for sure. I know I confused next Saturday with today. It's okay, Sheena. It's always a lot to juggle. Totally understand. Jack from Doctor Who was the first time I ever saw a bisexual person depicted in media. Jack and Sarah Lance from Arrow are my favorite characters for so long, because I could see myself in them. Jack is just a wild card, man. He's very much like an echo of John Barrowman himself in a lot of ways. Though, oddly enough, probably a little less problematic when you hear what you've heard. But like, yeah. Jack is one of my favorite Doctor Who characters, but I don't think we're ever going to see him again at this point. The Bear is so good, highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't watched it. Great list. Yeah, a lot of people have been recommending The Bear. I also love Torchwood. Too bad John Barrowman is not that great of a guy. Apparently there's been a ton of allegations against him in recent years. I was sad to hear that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Apparently he had a whole falling out with the producers of Doctor Who, and I don't think they're ever going to bring him back at this point. So that's just the way things have read. Because there was a big kerfuffle on social media between him and them. Sure, there'd be a waste to spend all that time setting up a big reveal for Morok and just having it be some rando Inquisitor. I'm biased as the resident tinfoil hat Starkiller guy, though. I mean, there's no setup. There hasn't been a setup. There's been nothing brought up about. No one's been like looking at this guy in the show and being like, huh, who's this guy? That's all us. There's no narrative setup in the show at all for that character. Like, nothing has been like, oh, who the fuck was that? Nothing. Nobody's even once been like, the fuck is that guy? No, that's all us. That's all us. So, yeah. There's zero definitive anything in the show itself that is begging the question other than us. So, I mean, all he is just an Inquisitor, wears a mask, as Inquisitors do. He's got a wolf name, but also so does Balin and Hati, and they're brand new characters. So it's just as likely he might be too. I mean, the only thing that might hint at it is the fact that why cover his face at this point in time anyway? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to be maybe as an Inquisitor he doesn't want people to know who he is. You know, their whole thing was washing away their original identity. I don't know. But it could go either way. Temple of Doom is the worst indie film. I will die on that hill like me. It's my least favorite to watch, I'll say. It's a childhood movie that scarred you. You never watch again. Mine is Watership Down, never again. What Dreams May Come. Saw that when I was maybe like early teens, preteen. I can't remember when it came out, but I watched it one time. That's all I needed to see. So sad. Mark, I'm thinking it's a clone of Ezra, the heir to Empire route, as in that trilogy, Luke Skywalker exists. It's true. I mean, who knows? Who knows? What'd you think of the Breaking Bad film, El Camino? You can check out what I thought about it. Did I actually react to that? I can't remember. I think I reacted to it. I'm pretty sure I put up a reaction to it. I really liked it. I really liked it. Obviously, some people... I reviewed it. I didn't react to it, sorry. Just the trailer. I only reacted to the trailer, but I did a review of it. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I think they handled it really, really well. Despite some of the actors, you know, obviously having aged and not looking the way they did when it was meant to line up. So there were some things you kind of had to mentally push past, but yeah, I liked it a lot. I like the closure that we got there. Yep, watch Bear. It's fantastic. I've never actually heard of Watership Down, by the way. Never heard of that one. John Berthal is really good in The Bear, but what I'm saying is he's badass in every show he has been in. Wasn't Watership Down every Easter during the daytime? Why? I'm not familiar with that one. Rock is definitely going to be played by Sam Witwer, but this is 100% a smokescreen. It's not actually Starkiller. I mean, the body and the credit goes to Paul Darnell currently. But, I don't know, it does sound like a modulated Sam Witwer, but we'll see. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I meant Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah, that's what I said. I started off talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. And it spiraled into me talking about Pokemon. Because those are the two things I wanted MMOs for, was Atla and or open world things where you can create your own bender or whatever. Like, those are two big franchises I've always wanted something like that about. Like, my whole opening statement was about Atla. I just transitioned into something else. I apologize. I was lost in translation. Muppets in Space. The scene where Gonzo gets struck by lightning and starts laughing hysterically and staring into the camera and into my soul scared the shit out of me as a kid. Where's the Mask? Heavily modulated voice. Don't directly credit Witwer as a voice actor, even though... Yeah, they did. He's under additional voices. Even though it's definitely him. He's kept in shots, but in the BG. Continue. Sam Witwer's credit is under additional voices. In every episode so far, even the ones where he never talked. So... we don't know. We don't know. He's done random, like, background creature voices and all kinds of other stuff. Like, this is what happens, man. People do exactly that, and then they get mad when it's not the thing. So... don't get too stuck on it. Mark wasn't a character we know. Why have him in the show? Everything he's done could have been handled simply by Balin and Shid. I mean, you're not wrong, but it also, at the same time, it's also not necessary. I mean, we have faceless thugs with groups all the time. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to be one of the people to be like, to die on a hill about anything else. And then it just fall apart. Yes, it was Jenny. Some psycho decided bunny movie equal Easter, regardless of it being a demon murderer bunnies. What the fuck? I don't know anything about this thing you're talking about, guys. Every story with the horse scarred me forever. I never saw Never saw Never Any Story the whole way through until I was an adult, I don't think. I'm gonna go down to the Starkiller ship, baby. Childhood movie that scarred me was Batteries Not Included. Bawled my eyes out when the aliens left her dead behind, only it wasn't dead and I was inconsolable. Still refused to watch it. Brunel's the voice actor of Suit. Lateef Crowder gets credited on the Mandalorian too, just saying. Thanks for putting up with me. Anytime. Anytime. Watership Down is a bunny snuff movie. What? I want to watch that again. I love bunnies. What the fuck? I'm gonna have to look this movie up, man. Character limit in the chat. No problem. Fuck, it's probably just Dave playing it with the Starkiller fans, and I'm all for it. Especially before when I showed my niece Bridge to Terabithia, thinking it was a nice, happy film, so it probably scarred her for life. Bad uncle. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie, but I know what happens. I've seen the scene. I will say that I promise if I'm wrong about Mora, I'm still gonna have fun. I'm here for whatever journey Dave is taking us on. Better be. All my fault, Jenny. I hated watching that scene in Never Ending Story. Has anyone ever heard of the film Slaughterhouse? It came out last week about a killer sloth. I'm so curious, what and why? No, this is the first I'm hearing of it. But that sounds interesting and weird. Pushing Down is the source of so much British kiddo trauma. I'm gonna have to look this movie up. Imagine they get to another galaxy and arrive on ancient Earth. That's what I said. I was like, it was a spiral galaxy. I was like, dude, if they go to the Milky Way, I will lose my shit. That'll prove all of the connections in the Indiana Jones franchise more likely. Real Star Wars galaxy is Alpha Centauri, and Thrawn is ruling over the Egyptians, overseeing the building of the pyramids. Dude, that would be great. I really like the season finale for My Adventures with Superman. They've done a good job with it. By the way, do you think that we might get to see Slade or Task Force X again in the next season? Oh, for sure. I think we definitely will. Worship Down, the 1978 film, not the TV series, which was tame in comparison. I'll look it up. But, guys, I've finally caught up. We're quite a bit over here. So, I'm gonna get some food. I'm going to, get some food. I need to edit episode 4 of One Piece to get that out tomorrow, and then I need to watch more One Piece tonight. So thanks for hanging out with us, having a good time, great conversations, fun little back and forths and debates as always. Hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Remember, next weekend won't have a stream. I'll be out of town enjoying my X-Files convention. But yeah, hope you all take care, and I'll see you guys in obviously the next upcoming videos, but I'll be talking to you guys live probably in the next, well, actually no, the weekend after that, if I'm going to the, it might be a minute, it might be 3 weeks, I don't know if the one after next week I'll be able to do anything either, because there's the Mothman Festival. We'll play it by ear. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted, but take care, have fun, and keep enjoying all that stuff. Take care, guys.